Awaiting the next Smash Bros. Character reveal has become a pretty dang big deal. Not just strictly for Nintendo fans, but fans of any remotely big gaming community. With the advent of DLC, awaiting the next big character announcement has become a Hunger Games-like global community event. Who's the next character going to be? Who is going to hold that iconic red stamped envelope? Oh god, I hope they pick my waifu. Oh, can you believe they didn't announce a character at the Game Awards this year? The gaming world is ravenous for the next announcement, and with the recent reveal that even more characters were in development beyond the original 5-character Fighter Pass DLC, everyone's dream picks have an even greater chance of making their way into the game. I've made 2 DLC videos with my personal hopes and dreams, one for Smash 4 DLC and another for Smash Ultimate. I figured it was time to switch things up. This time around, I'm going the other direction. 10 Smash Bros. Characters I don't want. And to keep things interesting, I've decided to add 2 rules for deciding my anti-picks. 1. No assist trophy characters. I know that sometimes an assist trophy can get an upgrade into the full roster, but I wanted to focus on completely fresh faces for today. And rule number 2, my 10 picks have to be characters that people actually want. I could pick 100 no-name characters that are completely incompatible with Smash Bros. For example, I 100% definitely do not want the dog from Jumpstart First Grade in Smash Bros. I know, scorching hot take, a very bold pick. I'm only going to deny characters that people actually want. So I scoured the web, looking at list after list after list of top fan-voted characters from every region of the world. And once I got a good idea of what the people wanted, I took aim. Who's it gonna be? Before we get to today's list, I want to take a moment to thank our returning sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. Raid is a free-to-play hero collecting party-based RPG with a massive campaign, optional boss dungeons, and PvP arena battles. One of my favorite parts about Raid is the character customization, which offers a ton of freedom in the types of spells and passive buffs that you want to give your character through armor. Right now you can get a huge buff to your account by claiming free champions and loot with Amazon Prime. If you sign up for Raid Shadow Legends and link your Amazon Prime account before January 12th, you'll be able to claim this wave of drops, which includes 2 million silver and 700 energy. And now you can play Raid on your mobile devices and your PC or Mac. The game runs great on the big screen, and with crossplay you can jump between your different devices while still using the exact same account. So what are you waiting for? Go to the video description, click on the special links, and you'll get 50,000 silver and a free epic champion as part of the new player program to start your journey. Thanks again to Raid for helping support my content, and I'll see you there. And with that, here are the top 10 Smash DLC characters that I don't want.
Number 10.
Captain Toad. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Toad's been in a pretty weird spot in terms of importance in the Mario universe. One second he's real, he's moving, he's playable, and then the next he's nothing more than Princess Peach's meat shield. Now that there's a real named main character Toad that stars in his own spin-off adventure series, people feel that the time for the rise of the shrooms is now. Captain Toad uses a variety of power-ups and tackles some giant foes, but his whole gimmick is that unlike the Mario Brothers or other Toads, he can't jump. Being tethered to the mortal plane is what makes Captain's puzzle so interesting and unique. But Smash Bros. Is such a vertical-oriented game that I just don't see how you can make them work. There's a very well done and creative video from GameXplain that proposes a solution to this problem, but as much as I enjoyed the video, and the Captain Toad video games as a whole, I don't think I'm sending this guy an invite.
Number 9.
Dixie Kong. Smash Bros. Is in desperate need of more ladies on its roster, and with 25 years of experience under her belt, Dixie has been a much requested newcomer, or perhaps even a Diddy Kong clone for a long time. But I think that's my biggest gripe with Dixie. I don't feel like there's a lot that makes her unique over the existing Kongs, and who wants to spend money on a clone character? In all seriousness, the one thing that makes Dixie unique is her hair twirl. Whee! Which is a fine enough up B or a glide concept, but I'm not seeing a whole character out of it. Most of the time when I think of a twin-tailed Kong in combat, I don't even think of Dixie. I think of her, Donkey Kong Wiki, her sister, Tiny Kong in Donkey Kong 64. I guess she can shoot bubblegum now or something like that, but like I said, when I think Dixie, I think about the hair. And even though she's not in the game, her hair is.
Number 8.
Phoenix Wright. I've said it before and I'll say it again, I object to Phoenix Wright in Smash. I adore the Ace Attorney games, and good old Nick is a huge reason for that. He's got a great personality and could be a great meme pick out of the blue, but ultimately, the main reason I don't want him in Ultimate is because he's been done before. Marvel vs. Capcom gave Phoenix Wright the treatment he deserved. His moveset is hilarious, featuring tons of great references to his animations and co-characters. He certainly isn't top tier, but he was a great surprise character that gave me everything I could have wanted from the guy. I just don't think seeing him in a second fighting game would give me that same feeling again. Overruled.
Number 7.
Rayman. Well, would you look at that? It's the original Artsy Omni fake out that started it all. Growing up, I simply did not like Rayman. I always felt like there were better platforming games available. I rented Rayman 1, 2, and 3 when they were new, and none of them left a lasting impression on me. Because of this, I never grew up loving the character the way that so many others did. The Limbless Wonder would finally get my attention over the past decade with the fantastic origins and legends, but like I've said all day today, it takes more than being in a good game for me to think that you're a good fit for Smash. Rayman's core ability is pretty much the same as Dixie Kong's, and she was already on today's list. I'll eagerly take another 2D Rayman platformer, but I'm not rushing to get this dude into Smash.
Number 6.
Byleth. A dark part of me kind of wants Byleth to get added to Smash just because of the collective meltdown the online community would have. Too many Fire Emblems, too many swords, they're all the same. As a longtime strategy junkie and helpless Fire Emblem weeb, I would absolutely welcome a new character from Fire Emblem Three Houses, which I truly think is one of the best games the franchise has ever seen. That said, Byleth is just kinda blah. Three Houses is full of interesting students, lords, and teachers, pretty much all of which are more interesting than Little Miss Fancy Pants over here. Those are some fancy pants. If you're bored of the horde of sword lords, I think the three house leaders could give us some much needed weapon variety with their bow, lance, and axe. I'm not convinced that Three Houses needs a new character in Smash, but if they're getting one, I hope it isn't Byleth.
Number 5.
Doomslayer. The Doomslayer, the Marine, Doom Guy, whatever you want to call him. I guess the original Doom guy is different than the guy from 2016's Doom. There's no denying that Doom is one of the most iconic video games of all time. And 2016's Doom is legit one of my favorite shooters of all time. Smash Bros. Has been a celebration of iconic characters in gaming. And considering my love for the very similar looking Master Chief, you'd think I'd be all aboard for another gun bro. But I'm not. For one, I feel like Doom Guy wouldn't be Doom Guy without the violence. Yeah, they toned down Snake and Bayonetta, and I even threw a flyer out for Scorpion at one point. But if you're not ripping and tearing, are you really Doom Guy? Also, because you played the entirety of Doom within the first person, I don't think there's a lot of moments for personality that would blend into a fighting game character. I think Master Chief is more iconic. We see him more outside of the visor through cutscenes and movies, and his character is much less dependent on gore and violence. Doom Guy can keep his appearance in Tony Hawk, but I'm not inviting him to Ultimate.
Number 4.
Bandana D. Oh boy. I know you guys love this one, but I just don't understand it. I understand that Sakurai is the father of both Kirby and Super Smash Bros., and it's obvious that he still harbors a lot of love for his child. I also understand that Bandana Waddle Dee has been around for a long time, starting as a sort of joke head henchman for King Dedede and eventually evolving into a main playable character in more modern Kirby titles. Despite having a full spear-based moveset in games like Return to Dreamland and Star Allies, I've never once seen this character and thought to myself, yeah, I want this guy in Smash. I don't have anything against the guy, I think he's cute, but I will continue to be baffled at how he consistently places highly in most wanted character polls. Now, if we're talking marks, that's a whole other story. I'll take that psycho in an instant.
Number 3.
Geno. Well, this is it. This is the one I'm gonna die for. Year after year after year, I've seen Geno paraded as an absolute top tier most wanted character in Smash. I practically felt the sting across the internet when his character got a mean costume instead of the real deal. The world loves Geno so much that it makes me feel like I'm broken as a human being. I see all these calls across the world for Geno in Smash, and I feel nothing. I love Super Mario RPG, and I really hope they revisit its world someday. Geno is a good character in a good game, and he dishes out a lot of damage. It's pretty rare for a spirit-possessed doll to be a good guy, and that's pretty unique too. Even though I love this game, and I at least like Geno the character, I just have no desire to add Geno to Smash. I think relevance is definitely a big part of it. This guy is in one game from almost 25 years ago. I don't think you have to be a main character of a game in order to be playable in Smash Bros. I mean, one of my favorite characters is Jigglypuff. But while Jiggly at least had some cultural relevance at the time of its first appearance because of its role in the anime, Geno just hasn't stuck in my mind in the same way. He did get one cute little cameo role in the first Mario and Luigi, but they even cut the cameo in the 3DS remake. I'm sure it has something to do with the fact that Square owns the character and they need permission, but still, that's cold. I definitely don't hate Geno, but the main reason I put Geno this high up was because of how drastically my opinion differs from the masses.
Number 2.
The Chorus Kids. I love the Rhythm Heaven series. Its genius simplicity makes it one of my favorite rhythm games, and rhythm games are one of my favorite video game genres. But to this day, I cannot comprehend why people either expect or want the Chorus Kids in Smash. For one, their only true playable appearance is in one main Rhythm Heaven minigame, Glee Club. At least other characters like Karate Joe appear in all the Rhythm Heaven games. But regardless, similar to how I felt about Captain Toad, I think any Rhythm Heaven character in Smash Bros. Would go against what makes the design of Rhythm Heaven so special. These games are great because of their minimalist control scheme, only asking you to push a couple of different buttons at most per minigame. I feel like taking anything out of Rhythm Heaven and throwing them into a game that uses your entire controller like Smash Bros. Would just be wrong. The only fighting game I'll accept Chorus Kids in is Dive Kick.
Number 1.
Goku. If there's one thing that's true about Smash Bros.'s character selection, it's that it is traditionally a celebration of Japanese characters. With rare exceptions like Banjo-Kazooie, a vast majority of Smash Bros.'s roster comes from Japanese game developers. Goku is one of the most iconic Japanese characters of all time. He's got an enormous variety of attacks and lore that you could draw off of in order to give him a viable moveset in Smash. The latest fighting game, Dragon Ball FighterZ, gave us an endless amount of source material to draw from. He's also in Super Smash Flash 2, for what that's worth. What was once an absolute joke pick a decade ago seems today like something that people legitimately would be excited to see in Smash Bros. I've seen it all, I've seen the arguments, but in my opinion, nah, no way, no, not in a million years. 1. I don't like Goku. I like Dragon Ball and its various spin-offs, but I just don't find Goku to be very likable. And 2, I don't think Smash is ready to open the anime can of worms. Every Smash Bros. Character has their roots in a video game, and I feel like opening the door to a character who was born outside the realm of gaming would cheapen an aspect of what makes Smash Bros. So special. Unexpected picks from unexpected games are great. Never in my life did I think we'd get Persona represented in Smash. Or watching Sakurai gush about the history of the Neo Geo for half an hour was an absolute treat. If you want to put an anime character into an anime fighting game, sure, I'm down. But I'm not ready for anime in Smash, and I probably won't ever be. So there's my 10 picks for characters I don't want in Smash. If any of these 10 picks gets used for DLC, I swear to God, I'm gonna laugh it off and be happy for the people out there that are excited. Yeah, obviously there's characters that I want to see more than others, but when I see all that pure rage online after these announcements, I think people are taking this a little too personally. I guess I can understand feeling screwed if you put money down on a DLC pass beforehand, only to get characters revealed that you don't like, but I've been pretty lucky there. All 4 of the 4 revealed characters so far come from different franchises that I love. So if they want to unleash the demons on me for pick number 5 and beyond, I say bring it on. We're all stuck here on Mr. Sakurai's Wild Ride, and whether you like it or not, after all these years, there's no getting off.